So my plan today was to complete some bounties with Joe as my backup, and looks like, yeah, he has already beaten one of my bounties, which is to kill two more juggernauts. So that one's taken care of. One thing we still do need to do, though, is kill some zombies with explosives and kill a plague heart with a shotgun. So I've got a character with a shotgun. Joe, actually, would you mind driving the car? What we're thinking we might do is head down here to this super dangerous area to try to get into some trouble while we are answering some questions from our community. So
I like trouble.
Joe is gonna be our driver whenever he's done sort of refreshing and the supply locker. In the meantime, so Heather asked for some questions from social media. We also asked folks to ask us some sort of fun, relaxing questions in the chat. And I got one question from Goonie that here's what it says. This question is for Geoffrey. Would you say that you did what you thought they said that you couldn't not do? Or can you expect to be what you wanted to from the time that was at least yesterday? Happy holidays. That was him trying to see if I could say that insane sentence that means absolutely nothing. And I think that I accomplished it, Goonie. So challenge accepted, challenge conquered. But let's ask a real question. This was actually one that was really interesting to me that I saw that came in from the chat while we were streaming the year in review. Skeensh3 asks, for Daybreak, I was wondering why there are no heavy weapons in Daybreak, or why the Great Hammer from Daybreak is not a heavy weapon. And so I like this question because it really highlights one of the challenges of working on State of Decay 2 in particular, which is that this game has been supported post-release for the past 4 years, and we keep adding new features to it. And when somebody joins the game now, they're often not aware of the history of the game. Daybreak came out at a time when there were not heavy weapons in State of Decay 2. Heavy weapons didn't come out for another 2 years after Daybreak. So that Great Hammer was just it was a heavy weapon. It was one of the heaviest weapons we had, but it was just a normal melee blunt weapon. Because that was all we had in the way of heavy weapons. And so
and even then we only recently in one of the updates that you just showed, Geoffrey, enabled heavy weapons to smash fences. That wasn't the thing that they shipped with. That's one of the I think it was up on the screen. But yeah, we've continually kind of like leaned into that cool feature. But it didn't exist when Daybreak came out.
I think heavy weapons came out with Juggernaut.
Yeah, that was one of the big features of the Juggernaut edition, which came out like 2 years after the original game.
About 2 years later,
Speaking of Juggernauts,
which was also our premiere on Steam, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it was.
That's
and
right.
Epic.
So things like the public test realm, for instance, were not possible when we first started because we didn't have access to Steam's beta program. All these things that we sort of take for granted now, they were all things that were added pretty late in the experience. So are we going to try to take this one down with shotguns?
What do you mean try?
I thought you were using fireworks only.
Fireworks only. Oh.
Did you get it?
It looks like I did. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna go. Ooh, I forgot that completing that challenge, completing that bounty. Oh no. It earns you the cold turkey, which is somebody on my personal stream earlier asked me what my favorite weapon in the game was, and I forgot about the cold turkey. That is one of my favorite weapons in the game. It's a
very nice shotgun.
It's a shotgun that chokes in when you zoom in. And so it can basically, you can use it as a long-range shotgun and as a short-range room clearer, which is it's like the most flexible shotgun in the game. I absolutely love it. The only thing it can't do is be quiet, but that's fine. I have that problem too.
It also is a shotgun, but it's not pump action, and so therefore it takes damage when you use it.
Oh, that's true. Okay, that is another disadvantage. That's true. So it's a balanced weapon, but it's still one of my favorite ones to shoot. We had another question. Peroxicus wants to know, does any community any map other than Providence Ridge have its own mascot, like Shaggy Jack? So Shaggy Jack is a fun one. We spent some time on my personal stream, talking about Shaggy Jack and hunting down the enigmatic axe and all of the stuff associated with him. I think there's several mascots in the game. Like there's, for instance, the swine and bovine, half pig, half cow, mutant monstrosity. I don't think there's any map-specific ones, unless I've forgotten some.
Well, I mean, unless we like the outposts, if you count those as
The what's? I coughed while you were talking.
The different outposts. So,
Oh
like,
yeah.
you're not gonna find the 10,000 gallon hat anywhere else.
Oh,
or
that's
the-
true. I like the
or
10,000
wind
gallon hat.
farm. Yeah. What's the one here?
I'm gonna go get a cold turkey.
Yeah, that's why we're here. You were talking about it. I was like, well, that sounds like a good opportunity to show people
Yeah.
Cash Beaumont.
So yeah, so here's the
They've never
bounty
scanned
broker.
before.
He's got some jobs for me to do. Let's pick another couple jobs we can do, like killing plague zombies with blunt weapons. Do you have a blunt weapon? Oh, you got a heavy weapon, which doesn't count.
I got
as
a
blunt
heavy weapon.
Do you have a rifle? We've got killing zombies with rifles, freaks with rifles, 5 hordes. We could probably do that. And zombies with kill 2 freaks while crouched. I bet we could do that too.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, let's do it. Other questions.
I hope you have gas in the back.
I do. I've got lots of gas in the back, just like in real life. And we've also got repair kits if we need those.
That was a fart joke.
That was a fart joke. Well,
I
because
was here for it.
well, because I had a fart joke prepared for when we introduced Brant, but unfortunately Brant was called away at the last minute and he couldn't be on the stream. So I'm just hungry for making a fart joke. So I really appreciate the opportunity.
We all love him.
Yeah.
So let's see here. So we had some questions, some like would you rather type questions. So Vicky Art, for instance, asked, would you rather have blood plague or rabies?
Ooh.
So
I mean,
yeah.
blood plague is 1 shot and rabies is 7 shots.
In your stomach? Of course, versus your neck.
Stomach is what
I don't know.
understand. I think I would, but I mean, and like kind of like the outcome is pretty similar.
Well, so with blood plague, you're very likely to kill other people if you don't successfully cure yourself, which makes it, I think,
pretty
like,
close to rabies as well.
yeah, maybe from a utilitarian perspective, I feel like you become more dangerous with blood plague than you do with other things. But it might be, is it less communicable though? I'm not sure. Oh hey, there's a freak I might be able to kill while crouched.
I think that's true because if you have blood plague, you are infected, but you're not rabid the way you are with rabies. You are rabid. Once you have it, you're just gonna infect everyone. So maybe it's better to have blood plague. I think it depends on your access to the antidote.
It depends on whether you're a dog. 'Cause I think if you're a dog, that definitely turns you into a zombie.
If you don't want to see a person with rabies, how different would that be from blood plague? I don't want to find out.
Let's see here.
I did have a question on my dog's names.
Oh yeah, please introduce the dogs.
This is Rocket. She's a little girl. She's a good girl. And then down here I also have Danger.
Danger?
This is
Is
Danger.
that his middle name or?
It's his first name. He lives by the code.
Oh no!
And so not pictured because he's gone on to doggy heaven. But
Were you crouched?
he has an Easter egg
I was
in
not.
life.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And actually, in
Falcor.
multiple games, you.
Yeah, Falcor is in multiple games, but so if you've ever played Torchlight 2, is the game I worked on before then, and they modeled the animation of the Papillon after him, and then Brant put him in Lifeline as an Easter egg. It's hard to find, and I will give you a hint. It's in text. It's not an actual like dog animation or picture, but yeah, I absolutely love that.
I have set myself on fire. I'm an idiot. Okay.
I mean, it's just very festive.
Yeah. Oh. We are trying to defeat. Oh wait, we did finally officially defeat the infestation. Cool. I'm just gonna catch up with you here, Joe. Nope, I accidentally got in the trunk instead. And then I accidentally killed a zombie instead. Okay, seriously, am I ever getting in this car? Here we go. All right.
Oh no.
Okay, let's see here. So, Heather, who I believe is our social media manager, wants to know if we'd rather fight one giant feral or 100 tiny juggernauts. For me, it depends on how tiny you're talking about. If they're like duck-sized juggernauts, that might still be dangerous. But I think fighting even duck-sized juggernauts would be kind of like, you know, the opening scene of Guardians of the Galaxy, where Chris Pratt is like
the little aliens
kicking
that
the little
really
aliens.
spicy. I was also gonna go Evil Dead when he's fighting tiny versions of himself that tie him down.
Yes.
That would be pretty obnoxious.
Or even just Gulliver's Travels with like the Lilliputians.
Oh,
right?
oh!
Like
I found the other mascot. It's the Iron
tiny
Ass.
things. Oh right, yeah, the Iron Ass.
So this is the official mascot of, where are we? Cascade Hills. It's the official mascot of Cascade Hills. I've decided. Oh, look at that! Thank you for crouching.
Yeah, it's like somebody's paying attention.
Whatever. I got him with the explosives. Man, this
I appear to
explosive
be
thing.
stuck.
Ah!
I am stuck.
Oh, you're totally stuck?
Yeah. And I need you to clear these zombies.
Including that Revolutionary War zombie? Okay, but I'm making a bunch of noise. If you want to quit the game, go right ahead. Just go ahead and disappear.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I just need you to clear these zombies.
Okay, here we go.
Thank you.
Elite Wolf wants to know who would win between the Hulk and 1,000 Juggernauts.
Always the Hulk.
It's obviously, or Blood Plague, but it's obviously the Hulk. The Hulk is basically unkillable.
Well,
they have to shoot him into space to just like take a break when he's hulked out. He cannot be killed.
Okay, so I do apparently have to exit. All right, I'll be right back.
Huh. Well, this is an interesting bug I've never seen before. That's kind of cool. Well, I guess I will drive around a little bit without Joe until he has the opportunity to join me.
Well, we have another good idea. Would you rather? It's another really crazy. Would you rather inhale a lungful of bloater gas, or make out with a juggernaut?
I think the bloater gas. I would take the bloater gas over making out with the juggernaut. Partly just because I don't think the juggernaut like. He really would probably get his teeth involved.
So big that I might just end up being inhaled.
Yeah, it's like putting your head in the lion's mouth, right?
Exactly.
So
yeah.
the real question is are we talking about Blood Plague variants or not? So,
oh, that's true. Yeah, I don't. If he might infect you.
It's a whole new level of the game.
Yeah. So like if it's if it's the Blood Plague variants. Like I don't think there's a way you win this. Like you get Blood Plague either way.
Yeah, that's true.
And then we're back in the rabies conversation. It's just.
So Asex Joker also wants to know: do you have a favorite trait for anyone in your community?
I'm trying. So I've got a favorite skill, which is farting around, because that's my actual favorite skill in real life. And so yeah, honestly there's so many traits, and I wrote so many of them. Like it's like it's one of those like trying to choose your favorite child or something like that. Like I could not possibly take a favorite. But there's few enough skills. I actually do have some idea of my favorites. And yeah, it probably is farting around. Though I also do really like animal facts, because I based that one on my daughter. Is this like 2 screamer horns together?
Looks like it.
Wow. But yeah, I actually based that one on my daughter because she's always loved animals, and when she wanted to persuade us to let her have pets, she wouldn't just like ask for pets or beg for pets or whine for pets. She would do research. She would actually educate herself about the pets, tell us all about the pets, and really try to impress us with how knowledgeable she was and what a good pet owner she would be. And as a result, we totally have gotten her tons and tons of pets. She currently has, I think, 2 birds, 2 hermit crabs, and she's gone through a whole litany of them. And it's pretty incredible. And so yeah, so that particular one, Animal Facts, is based on my daughter. Oh gosh! Zombies getting on my neck like they always do. Okay, so by the way, somebody, I know that somebody asked, let's see here. Oh yeah, so yeah, Enzo asked if, they were confused about something, because we've been talking about the, oh, I need to heal up. We've been talking about the Oh crap! I'm dead. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it.
Jeffrey,
Kill it.
no!
Kill it. Kill it.
Jeffrey, no!
Oh, yes. I am gonna die though.
Look at that victory jump.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. You know, I'm like a Call of Duty player. After they kill you, they always jump right afterwards for some reason. But
I was
anyway,
thinking of Triggs and Kiki, a little celebration.
oh, we should probably fuel up this car. So anyway, so Enzo was asking about when you when you're using the Forever Communities update and you're continuing after a legacy, do you get the opportunity to reselect your legacy boons, like including the ones you've just barely earned? And the answer is right now no, I believe, right, Joe? Like you don't, we haven't put in that possibility. So that is a good thing for the wish list.
Well, we've talked about some different solutions where you would actually be able to do it midstream. I don't know if we'll be able to get any of them implemented, but based on what we've been seeing, it is doable.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are theoretically doable.
Whether or not it rises to the
loaders
to the same importance as other features that need some like attention that we see from like first time players and whatnot. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of other like suggestions of new features, Michael Velez on social media asked us, will you consider adding plague walls to map exits to solve the question of like apparent heart for infestations, a new infestation feature? Like in order to leave, you have to kill the plague wall that's blocking the exit. That's a clever idea, and that's one of those ideas where it's like if we were building the feature from scratch right now, that is absolutely the kind of thing that we would probably consider. Trying to take an existing thing like a plague wall that was built specifically for Heartland in a specific situation and trying to adapt it to a completely new use would probably be difficult, have a lot of challenges to it, and it's one of those things where it's like it's one of many possible things that we could do to solve that problem. It's probably one of the more expensive ways to do it, so it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, that's a really cool idea and we totally might do it. The chances of us actually doing it when there are easier ways to solve that problem and we could get other features in if we solve the problems the easier ways, means we'll probably not do that exact thing. But that is a really clever idea, and I really like hearing it, so I'm glad that you shared it with us. Was that a fair answer, Joe? I mean, I'm not even on the team, but I'm just sort of assuming that was a good answer.
Yeah, no, that's you're the former design director. You know how to say no nicely.
That's half the job a lot of the time.
So yeah, no, it's a much better no than I gave. Whatever.
Oh, so people often ask us about whether or not we think there'll ever be like a State of Decay TV show or something like that. But actually, John Bon Zombie asked it in a new way. They said, if you had a choice whether to make a State of Decay movie or a State of Decay TV show, which one would you choose and why? Which is an interesting question. I'm curious what you two like. Again, there's no indication that is a thing we're going to do. But
disclaimer, we're not doing this, but it's a really fun thing to play around with.
A fun thought exercise, yeah.
Yeah. Joe, what do you think? I already know what I would pick.
Given like how like the small chunks, I think you'd probably be better suited with like the seasonal content. A single State of Decay movie isn't the thing. Like State of Decay itself is a universe, right? And you would want to do as much justice to that as possible. So I'm going with TV show because then, maybe you get what you want for a longer amount of time.
Yeah, Wonder, what were you thinking?
I agree. I was going to say the same thing. And I think it's actually really interesting because remember when like series and TV shows used to not be that great? And now I feel like they've surpassed movie storytelling in so many ways because there's so much more room for really interesting character development. I think that lends itself to State of Decay 2, which is like about a community. Yeah. And I think there's precedence there, right? Like we've already seen The Walking Dead. And then, I love shows like, Ozark and Castlevania, which are very dark, episodic, but they're still telling one story just in a massive way. So that said, that's just my preference right now. But that said, I could completely see a State of Decay style community story in a movie version, the way that we would see things like Zombieland, or something like that, or 28 Days Later, things like that man, when 28 Days Later came out, that like blew my mind. I loved it so much. Saw it in the theater multiple times.
Yeah, same.
Did
So
you did you ever watch 28 Weeks Later?
28 Weeks Later?
Yeah, the sequel. Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that. It had
Oh no, I didn't.
Matthew Broderick,
what?
I think,
I never-
wasn't it?
No, it was the dude from Stargate Universe and the Full Monty and Robert Carlyle.
Robert Carlyle.
Yeah, he's in that. No, he's great. I love that dude.
Robbie.
Yeah, I was gonna say that and Train Spotting. That's the other thing I was trying to think of. But
Yeah.
he's like so. I my answer would be the same as you two because I've always ever since I started working on the original State of Decay, I was like one of the things that really sets State of Decay apart is that it's not about the moment to moment experience of fighting zombies. Like a lot of the zombie games that came before State of Decay were just about the hectic moment where the zombies are coming through the walls. Oh no, I'm gonna die. And State of Decay 2
Yeah.
felt really special when it came out in 2013. And there's been a lot more games since then that have done very similar things. Now we're far from alone in this but it was much more
Something
about
just-
surviving years rather than surviving minutes.
Yeah.
And so telling that for me, the story of State of Decay has always been about how do you survive forever. And it's harder to tell that story in a movie because you can always imagine, well, movie's over, what happened next? I don't know. But TV gives you the time to really tell that sort of drawn out story of like who these people are over the long haul and how the apocalypse changes them.
Well, and I think we might have lost something too, like thinking just like in terms of like if we want to tell short pieces of story, right? Like take a look at Supernatural. Like it was forever. Like it took a long time, right? 15 seasons. Like I don't care what you think about the quality of that show, but
they had to be doing something right to last 15 seasons.
Right? Like and a lot of it happens to be that it's just like these little tiny short, mostly self-contained episodes with this long thread, right? And then even in the Twilight Zone lasted a long time, and it was barely any thread, but it was you had so many of those little things, and there are just a lot of different structures you could take with the State of Decay universe in a TV show. So
I like that. I like that Twilight universe. Yeah. And someone also mentioned, a couple people mentioned Heartland would be pretty great. And I think that would be an amazing movie. You just drop
Actually,
in.
that's true,
and
yeah.
You have to deal with a lot of stuff and and you're learning about the world and the relationships as it happens. I think that would be really cool.
That's cool. Actually, yeah, you're right that the sort of if you wanted to do a shorter form like movie style story in State of Decay, taking a little snippet of a really critical point in the development of the post-apocalyptic society of State of Decay 2, where they learn something new about the plague, where they make some really important strides, and there's a specific group of characters that need to develop in a certain way. Like that would be the right thing to develop. That's a really good idea. I'm glad someone suggested that. And it's 3:58, so we should probably wrap this up. But thank you all so much. Yeah, thank you all so much for coming in here and chatting with us, asking us questions, and just this whole year, this whole 4 years, this whole 9 years. Thank you all for being with us for all this time. However long you've been here, whether you've just picked up the game for the first time and just barely discovered our community, or if you've been following us from the days of like Class 4 before the release of State of Decay, like every single one of you is someone that we owe our jobs to you. We owe like everything that is fun about what we do for a living comes down to the experience we have entertaining you and hearing back from you. And we really appreciate it. So thank you for another wonderful year working on this franchise with you all. And I think we all look forward to continuing to do this for the indefinite future. Joe, what do you have to say as we're sort of rounding out 2022?
This community means a lot to a lot of people, myself included, and I've seen our community come together over so many things. And then I look around at other games and I see the communities that they have and the problems that they face, and I am so thankful every day that this is the group of gamers that I get to make stuff for. Because even when you don't like it, at least you're not complete jerks about it. And you let us know, and that's great. We appreciate that. And we try to change it. We try to make the game something that you enjoy, because we enjoy showing up and doing this job every day in a way that I can't express in words. other than to say thank you so very much for making all of this possible.
Thank you, Joe. And thank you, I mean, for everything that you contribute to this community, both as a host, a streamer, a designer. You've been, and back when you used to do customer advocacy, you've been such a huge, critical part of what makes this community work yeah, just you can't, it's impossible to oversell how critical you've been to all of this. So thank you. And I'm going to switch away before you can undercut my compliment. Wonder. Any last words? We're rounding out 2022.
Yeah, it's been an amazing year. You know, we've all been together since this launch of State of Decay 2, and then through Juggernaut Edition and everything that we've put together since then, based on your suggestions and your feedback. Couldn't do it without you. We super appreciate you, and even the people that can show up. You know, we know it doesn't work for everyone, and absolutely appreciate you contributing your time to this community and making it what it is. And we're incredibly proud to have such a strong, fantastic community. We love you guys so much. Thank you for everything. And I especially want to shout out, you know, it's our last stream of the year. I want to shout out Geoffrey and Brant and Joe for everything they've done. Heather, Megan, and Rohan behind the scenes, you know, keeping it all running. We love hearing from you. We love your feedback. You know, this exactly what Joe said. You know, we don't make a game without an audience, and we make it for you. And it's really important for us that that's true. It's, you know, it's we love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting us and for being here and for playing the game.
And thank you, Wonder, by the way, for prioritizing the stream and giving us the opportunity to engage this way with the audience. Like, this is my favorite part of my job, and I wouldn't be able to do it if you didn't think this was a good idea and give me permission. So I really appreciate it. Okay, well, with that, we're going to wrap this up. We will see you next year, just a little over a month, on January 9th. That's going to be the first stream of 2023. We'll see you all then, and goodbye. Oh, there's one last question from Soulburner55. They want to know, how long after State of Decay 1 did State of Decay 2 take place? It's about between a year and 18 months. So there you go. Final question. Just
that's canon.
That's real.
It is. That's a good one. Happy holidays.